Good day, guys. You're welcome to this conversation that I'm going to examine something. I'm going to examine an experience I had. Particularly, this video is meant for Nigerians, my fellow Nigerians. I want to talk about an experience that makes me believe that if we apply determination and effort, we can grow our nation to become a great nation. That is, if we try. Yeah, I say so because behind every problem, there's a solution. Or not behind, beside every problem, there's a solution. If only you try to solve that problem. Now, this becomes important when you consider the fact that one of the reasons why some of us, or one of the reasons why our nation is the way it is because some of us have not decided to start contributing to the development of the nation. We're blaming people, blaming the political class, blaming the religious class, blaming all classes of people. Now, this does not mean to say that I'm exonerating the political class, but it points to the fact that what we see in the political class is a reflection of our problem. It's not the cause of our problem. It's like when you have malaria, you have fever. It's not the fever that causes the malaria for you. The fever is a symptom of the malaria. Okay, so let's get to my experience. Now, yesterday, as at the time of this recording, I'm recording this audio on the 1st of May. Now, yesterday being 30th of April, I had an experience. While working on my blog to solve some problems, after working for over 8 hours on this blog, I encountered a problem. That problem was that I could not install new plugins. A plugin on a WordPress blog is like the way you install apps on your Android phone. So imagine yourself trying to use an Android phone that you cannot install apps into. That was the kind of problem I ran into. I couldn't install plugins on my WordPress blog. So I contacted my web host. They were assisting me. They assisted me to a point where the person assisting me now told me that from here on, they can no longer render any assistance to me, that I have to go and contact a developer. Already, I'm a developer. So what it means is, guy, you are on your own from this point on. Now, this is not the first time this kind of experience has happened to me. Some few years back, like 4 or 5 years back, I remember I had this kind of experience. And after they did everything they did, nothing worked. Finally, the person that was assisting me, then I was using another web host, he now asked me to send him my IP address. So I sent him the IP address. An IP address is like the phone number with which you dial the internet. So I sent him the IP address, and I found out the IP address was blocked. So he now opened it for me, and I was able to browse. So even this year, sometime in January, this same problem happened. After about 3 days of massive work and going back and forth with them, because while my web hosts were trying on their own to fix the problem, I was also trying on my own to fix the problem. I was doing everything I could, doing all the research, Googling, going to forums, going to groups, all looking for solution to the problem. So when it happened in January, that one was fixed after about 3 days of work, but it happened on a weekend, so I was very opportune to solve it. I had the strength to do that. It happened on a Friday, so that kept me awake Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By Monday, I had fixed it. Now, it still boiled down to IP address. It was the IP address that was one of the problems when it happened in January. But this one that happened yesterday, while the guy was helping me, I asked him to check the IP address. He checked the IP address and told me that the IP address is not the problem. So he now said the only solution he could offer to me was that I should go and buy a new laptop and device with which I will connect to my site. Because he said on his own end, he can install plugins and do whatever he wants to do. But on my own end, I can't do it. So at this point, in fact, actually, to give you an idea of the real nature of this problem, when he said that thing, I sweated like a Christmas goat. Let me use that word. I sweated like a Christmas goat immediately. So I tried everything I could, even though I was sleepy, but I still did it. And I knew I could not work on this today being Monday, because on Monday, I'm supposed to write a proposal that I was even supposed to submit a few days before today. So how could I work on these two things at the same time? And if I don't work on this site, how would my people, my registered users, be able to post their content? So I was in a fix. But at the end of the day, I just told myself that, look, you have to go to sleep. I went to sleep and I said, tomorrow I'll continue. So when I woke up this morning, the first thing that came to my mind was change your web host. In fact, I had Googled web hosts in Nigeria. So I'd seen like 5. I said, okay, don't worry, hold on. Let me try first and see if I can fix this problem on my own. So I remember in one of the conversations I had with the support guy, he suggested I should change my devices. So, but when I reasoned, I said, no. I have been doing this thing and it's not working. Okay, let me try something. So I now brought my 9 mobile SIM and bought data in it, then used it to access the website. It worked. I was able to install everything I wanted to do. So now this boils down to the fact that it still had to do with the IP address, but it was a bit complicated. So after I used my Etisalat to access the site and did everything, it worked. I removed the Etisalat SIM card and put in my normal Glo SIM, and it started working. So you see, the solution was a very simple thing that did not require all the technical things that we did. And I solved the problem. So what am I saying? Nigeria has a serious leadership problem. That's why we are the way we are. If we have to solve our problem, if we must solve our problem and become successful, then we need that determination. That kind of determination I had when they told me that you are on your own from this point. When you get to that point where we understand that we have to do this thing, then we are empowered with all the spiritual, moral, legal, and mental strength we need. And I think that at this stage of our life, we're supposed to have arrived at this, or we can arrive at this if we desire to, because with the things that are happening in Nigeria today, with all the moral decadence and leadership crisis we're experiencing, we have been cornered into a dangerous corner, which calls for that determination within us that we have to right the wrong by our efforts, not by calling on other institutions, not by accusing fingers, not by accusing the politicians or anybody, but by doing the actual work that is needed. Because for every problem, there's a solution. For every success, there's an effort. God is not going to come down from heaven and develop Nigeria for us after we pray. No, God doesn't work that way. So we are the ones that are going to build our nation. We are the ones that are going to inject our creativity into our life. We're the ones that are going to do what is necessary to transform our nation from where we are to where we want to be. You have great ideas. Start implementing that idea or those ideas. Implement them in your life. Implement them in your association with people. Look at your moral standard. Look at your moral values. Look at those things you cherish, those ideals you cherish, integrity, friendship, kindness, however, whatever it is. Look at them and start practicing them, because those are the key that will unlock our greatness. We're a great nation. If nations have gone through worse things than we are going through now and they built themselves to become who they are, then we can do it. I believe in us. I believe we can do it. I believe we can transform Nigeria. And I believe we can become one of the greatest nations on earth if we put in the effort. So let us put in the effort. You put in the effort through your moral standard. Put in the effort through the things you do. And we can collectively transform Nigeria. Thank you. Good day, guys.